Good morning, Doc Zoy back again. I come home from doing some service calls yesterday and happened to glance at my laptop on my desk. Noticed that my charge rate was pretty low and the sun was shining pretty good, and I was at 80% state of charge, so I knew something was up. So headed on down to the house, take a look. I guess we'll see what the magic smoke got let out of. So I'll show you what I found. So I was out on service calls and come home here. It's about a little after 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And I noticed I was only getting about 1,200 watts coming through here to my batteries charging, and heck, I should have been at 100% by now. So yeah, I knew something was up. But nice sunny day. Walked down the steps and seen this display was blank. The other one was lit, and I pulled the bottom cover here off. Now this charge controller, and you can see it got a little hot there, and here's the wire. But anyway, I'm going to string a new wire here and see, but I pulled the cover off the IMO to get that wire out of there, and I noticed I might have another problem here. I've got those there a little hot. This is 10 gauge wire. I do have a ferrule on it, but I'm starting to wonder if the charge controller did short internally. So those would be the two right wires, because that's 1 and 2, and they go to, or that's 1 and 3, and so 1 goes to 2 and 3 goes to 4 down here. So they run crossways this way. So I'm going to get some wire. I'm going to go up to the array. I'm going to shut it off on that end and then make sure these terminals are tight, see what's going on. And we'll see what happens. Well, in case you were ever wondering what's inside, this is what it looks like inside here. So connector was pretty well done for. I'm running my new wire here, but then I took the cover off because I said, I better check inside. I think there's something fried. So sure enough, and I'll bet the connection failed on their side, not on mine. You can see right here's a black mark, so you know it should get pretty warm. But I'm going to run the wire, bypass the connector, and I'm just going to run it all the way up here to where it goes in the circuit board, crimp an end on there, and see what I got. So be back shortly. Well, I got everything back together. I did check both sides on the IMO. I had it apart. Those are all tight. Went back up, turned the array on. I did check the terminals in this top one, and that was good, but I did not pull the front cover off. Okay. I got the bottom one all back together. I put a female spade connector on it and cover, and ran it direct to the circuit board. So the moment of truth will arrive here. So we're going to kick on the IMO. As you can see, the top one's powering up, and it'll begin charging shortly. And we're going to turn on the battery power first here on the side. Okay, and now we're going to turn on PV. And she's powering up, moving up, so it'll begin charging shortly. So, looks like I got it fixed for now. I'll have to get a hold of Signature Solar on Monday, because it's probably already 4 o'clock by now, 4:30. So, and I got a long one, but might be a better idea just to run these direct to the circuit board. I don't know. That's a good question. When I put it together, I didn't put any ferrules on it this time on either end, so you know, I guess we'll see. It still smells like burnt plastic down here. That'll take a while to clear out, but so far so good. Right now we're getting string voltage is 300 volts. Battery voltage is 54.6. I'll get about 2.5 kilowatts there. And I I got 282, 300 here, and of course, same battery. And we're getting about 2.5 kilowatts of power there. So after I talk to Signature Solar, I'll update here. So it's next day, and I decided to take the cover off the other charge controller and check those connections. So as you can see, they're using a 14 gauge wire with 105C insulation. I did note that over here it appears they're using a ferrule, so I'm going to check these connections and see what's going on there. See, there's a black mark there, and I remember I was on the other wire yesterday. Well, must be from there when they built it from the factory. So be back in a minute. So yeah, I pulled that terminal out, and I checked the screw first, see how tight it was. I probably could have turned it here an eighth to, you know, a little bit more. I mean, it didn't seem like it was overly tight, but they are using a ferrule on their side. So, and it appears even the large cables for the battery, those have a ferrule on them also. So I didn't notice, is it a hex crimp or a four-sided? Let's see here. Where'd it go? I believe it's a four-sided crimp, so interesting. But anyway, I'll get this button back up, turn back on, and I'll see you later in a bit. While I was in here, I decided to check the breaker here, and I pulled on the wires, and I decided maybe I better just pull the whole breaker apart. So believe it or not, they got this thread stripped out on this screw. I noticed they couldn't back it out right away, but anyway, yeah, I ended up, there's 3 terminals there, you know, battery cable, that was the one on the bottom, and then, so there's 4, and then 2 there for the PV wires. Yeah, I ended up tightening every one of them up just slightly, so something to be aware of. Kind of a pain. They use some kind of goop here on the cable for the PCB, so but I just let it hang on the top, you know, just laid it across the top. Was able to get the breaker out and tighten them all up. So if you got one of these, might be a good idea to check it. So later. So as you can see, maybe if you have one of these, you maybe should take the covers off and start checking your connections. I'm gonna get hold of Signature Solar. You know, I'll update and what they come up with. But more than likely, I might even change it so that I run the wires direct from the IMO right to the circuit board and eliminate that connection in there. Might be a good idea. I don't know. I mean, it's not carrying a huge amount of amps, so, you know, it's pretty strange that connector failed. And, you know, make sure I make my stuff pretty tight. So it kind of surprised me that I had a failure there, but, you know, with repeated heat cycles, maybe they got loose and failed. So never know. Whether I go back to using a ferrule or not, I don't know. I'll probably open up a discussion here on do-it-yourself forum and see what everybody thinks. But more than likely, I'll probably go back to using a ferrule. Now, if I see another failure, well, I'll probably change my mind. But for now, that's where things go. So stay tuned. My next video, I do believe, will be building a battery box. I bought some Luan boxes, so been building those and been working on my camper project yet. So stay tuned and watch for more videos. Thanks for watching.